got like a suede feel. Let's put them back. My coffee. Welcome everybody to my channel. Today I'm just doing a quick video of tapping and scratching and otherwise manipulating things that are in my bedroom. So specifically things that were on my dresser. And so we're going to start with this White Barn Rose Water and Ivy Aerosol Room Spray. So this one is Rose Water and Ivy, and it is a aerosol spray. It's pretty concentrated, so I do find you don't need a lot. In fact, what I just sprayed is probably too much. So I hope you don't mind. I'm doing a Lofi filming today, right now. I just thought I would just use my phone and headphone mic. I hope that's okay. Tappy, 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 tappy. Doesn't really make much of a sound when you shake it. So I recently installed LED lights behind the headboard in our bedroom. My son really likes it, so we have the remote control. But my son always wants it red, so he always comes in and he will change it to red. That's the red. Put it back to blue. Anyways, so now my son wants us to put lights in his room. Even though he already has like a string of lights, he has a loft bed, so underneath his, like in the bottom, I've strung like blue and white Christmas lights, and he has a lava lamp. So he already has quite a bit of fun lights in his room, so now he wants these. Red, reddy, orange, orangey, yellow. So these are reds and yellows, and then it goes into greens and teals, and then blues to purples, and then into pinks, and then white, and then you can have some pre-programmed things, and then brightness adjustments, and then supposedly you can set your own, but I can't figure out how to do that. I need to look it up. I just got these and I haven't really looked at the instructions, so okay. Next we have this little container. This is Elemis Pro Collagen Eye Revive Mask. logo. So it's like dirty. It's got the little logo. And I ordered this from the BoxyCharm website. It didn't come in a BoxyCharm box, but they have a store and you can like add on or buy extra things at discounted rates. So I wanted to try this mask and I like it a lot. It doesn't smell the best, but it's like meant for overnight. So just dropped it. So it's like fairly thick and it kind of reminds me of, if you know Blistex. They used to sell like a little, I think they still sell a little container of like lip balm that looks like this, and this smells like that. Medicated Blistex lip balm, but not as strong as Blistex. But that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so the next items are two items that kind of go together. And they're super cute. They're a little reindeer and a little bunny. And they are for putting rings on. It was actually a pack of 3, and there was an elephant, but I gave the elephant to my sister because I didn't need 3 ring holders, but it was cheaper to buy a 3-pack than to buy like one on its own. So I have a little reindeer and a little bunny, and they're rose gold, and you can just put your rings on the bunny's ears and the tail or on the antlers, and I think they're very cute. And even if you don't have any rings on them, they're just cute to display. So we'll tap the bunny for a little bit. Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity. Hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity, hippity hoppity. What is it? Little rabbit foo-foo running through the forest, picking up the field mice and popping them on the head. We used to sing that in kindergarten. And my son, when he was remote learning, the schools were closed for a few weeks up here, and everyone was doing remote learning, and I heard the music teacher was singing that with them. But in our district, our region, the schools reopened this week, so my oldest son is back at school in person. Little rabbit foo-foo hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice and popping them on the head. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. And then the reindeer. No red nose, so it's not Rudolph. Alright, next, just have crystal nail file. Again, this is ASMR with things that were on my dresser. Turn the camera that way. You can see that there is still a lot of things on my dresser. A very long dresser. And our house only has one bathroom upstairs, so we don't have like an ensuite in this house. And there's like it's just a small vanity, so I can't keep like any makeup or stuff in the bathroom. is the crystal nail file that was there. So, and I just love the sound it makes. These are obviously fake nails. And I was just doing them last night to try putting them on. And my six-year-old was watching, and I'm so proud of him. All about the nails and putting them on, and I was explaining them, and then he looks at me and goes, "But Mommy, what's the point?" And then he gets a big smile. So he's like, "Mommy, what's the point? Get it, Mommy? Point? Because they're pointy." And I know that a lot of people don't like puns, but I was actually really proud of him because it was like the first time that he's like come up with an intentional pun, and like I think it just shows an understanding on his part of that the word point can mean something that's pointy, or to mean like the purpose of something. So I was actually really proud of him, and I thought it was really cute and funny. So next we have some things. This is just a little box that has some cards in it. They are just blank thank you cards for baby gifts, because we had a baby and some people sent gifts, and I had these ones like since my first son was born like 6 years ago, and I just took them out because I was thinking I should maybe try to send thank you cards to people, but I'm not sure, because I did email people or text them or call people to thank them for gifts. Because he's a second baby born in a pandemic, it's not like we had a shower or got a lot of gifts. Like just a few people sent gifts, and I've been thanking them as they have, so I was not sure about using them, but they were on my dresser, and I thought it would be a different kind of texture and sound for the video. I think it's a Noah's Ark. I remember I did not pick these out. My mom had bought them and gave them to me to use for thank you cards, which was weird because I would have bought my own. I think it's Noah's Ark because it's a boat, and it's got, 2 turtles here, but then it's got, 2 monkeys or lemurs, 2 bunnies, 2 camels, 2 cows, 2 pigs, 2 horses, 2 little tiny iguana things, but then it's got, the rainbow and the dove with the olive branch, which are obviously important symbols if you're familiar with the Noah's Ark story. It says, "Thank you for the sweet gift and your thoughtful way of welcoming baby." So, and then there's some envelopes. we have this. It's got like a suede feel to it. And it looks like a little envelope, but it's a brush roll. A brush roll from Luxie, Luxie, Luxie brush roll. It's a Luxie brush roll. And it has, these are new, I haven't even used them yet, a set of makeup brushes. So we got all kinds of makeup brushes. And they are gold. And I have one Luxie brush that I bought individually, and I do like it. And so this was another purchase I ordered from the BoxyCharm website that was discounted, and I have heard good things about the Luxie brushes, and the one that I had bought recently at like a Winners I really like, and they're very soft. So I got them, and personally I do have a lot of brushes already, but a lot of them are from a while ago when I wasn't as into makeup, and they're not the best quality, and like a lot of them are shedding, or like this whole part is detaching from the handles. So I've been wanting to get some better brushes, and I've heard good things about Luxie brushes. I had one that I liked, so when I saw I could get like a set and come in a brush roll, I thought that would be really nice, especially when we travel places. I can more easily pack them, but obviously travel has been on hold, so I don't know when we'll travel again. Last year around this time we had just got back from Mexico, and it was funny because the day we flew in to Mexico, I'm just going to brush with this fluffy brush while I tell the story. When we were getting back from Mexico, when we flew into Toronto airport, we had gone with a wedding, so we didn't book the flights. It was all with the package. So we actually drove like the 8 hours down to Toronto the night before the flight, stayed in a hotel, and then when we came back, we stayed with my in-laws who don't live too far from Toronto, and then drove back the next day. But when we flew back in from Mexico last year, we were flying. When we left, it was like no one had really heard of COVID. It was like nothing. And then when we came back a week later, that was all of a sudden there was a few people in the airport wearing masks, and then there was signs up being like, if you're coming back from China, like let us know. And then like we landed like 1 or 2 days after the first confirmed COVID case had landed in Toronto. And the last day in Mexico, I'd had an accident ziplining in an underground cave, like cenote, I think they're called, where I ziplined into the lake, and I fell and on the side, and the force of the water actually burst my eardrum. So I had got some interim medical care at the resort, but I had to go to the hospital when we got back. Like basically we landed, and I went to the ER in Canada to get it checked out, and it was interesting because I walked in, and it was all of a sudden, if you're coming from China, if you've been to China, like let us know. They had masks, and normally most people don't put on a mask, like unless you're in there with like actually sick with a cough or something, and even then most people traditionally wouldn't, but it was like everyone was putting on the masks, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll put on a mask. I guess people are scared of this thing. And then it's just so funny to look back on that just over a year ago, that I was like, okay, I guess I'll just put on a mask. And now masks are a part of life here. If you're out in public, you have to wear them. My son has to wear them at school all day. He can only take them off for actively eating or drinking, so like lunch and snack, or if he's getting water. They can't use the water fountains at school. They have to bring bottled water, or not bottled, like I put up water in a bottle like every day for him. And now they even have to wear them at recess because the kids were not appropriately socially distancing at recess. So he goes through like 4 or 5 masks a day now at school, because when he's outside, like, it's so cold, and then his warm air, it's just like the masks are soaked after recess. So, anyways, brush, 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 brush. It's very soft, 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 softy, softy brush, softy brush, softy, softy, softy brush, softy brush. Okay, softy brush, softy. All right. Oh, a whole bunch of them just fell out. Let's put them back. Put them back. Put them back. Back you go. Back you go. Back you go. I actually have quite a few of these like flatter foundation brushes. I don't really use them. I actually got a new type of foundation brush. It's very dense bristles, and then you put a makeup on, and I love it. And actually, this is the brush I was saying. I had a Luxie brush, and I liked it, so I ordered that one. But now I'm looking at it, and it's not actually Luxie. It's X-Lux. So, oh well. But I like this, but I've seen bigger ones, so I think I might keep my eye out for a bigger one. I like it. I just washed like all my brushes because I'm terrible at like washing them regularly, but I use this today, so now I'm getting stuff on me, but I like this one. Alright, next we have a face palette called Nesting Neat Face. You know what that says? By Pretty Vulgar. I am using some of the stuff in here today, like this blush that's called Hush Blush, and this like highlighter glimmer of BS, and this contour is called Son of a Bee. So I kind of like these two. This is a little pink for me, but I think if I mix it with that and then these are very dark for me. I haven't used them because of how dark they are. I think they might work for some contouring maybe in the summer when my skin is just darker from tanning. But even then it is quite dark, but I mean, it's okay for a little bit of contour if I really blend it in, but I haven't used those ones much yet. But I just love the little picture, and that's why I wanted to use it, and of course it taps, so I just the little teacup, so alright, and so next item we have is my coffee. It's a little cold, but it says, be awesome today. Be awesome today. Be awesome today. My sister-in-law gave me this mug, and I love it. definitely cold coffee now, which is okay. There's not that much left in it anyways. And most parents, especially moms, I think get used to drinking cold coffee sometimes. So. So the last item I had was technically not on my dresser, but on my husband's nightstand, but it's a book. And I got him this book for Christmas, and it's Is This Anything by Jerry Seinfeld. My husband is a Jerry Seinfeld fan, likes the show, likes the stand-up comedy. And so I saw this book, and so I got it for him for Christmas, and it's a book because so Jerry Seinfeld writes all his jokes, and he's kept them all his jokes. Apparently he has them kept filed, and this book, it basically goes through, and each decade, the 70s, 80s, 90s, the thousands, and the tens, and it goes through, and he's written out his jokes so you can read them. And so if we read inside, it says, "Is this anything? Is what every comedian says to every other comedian about any new bit they want to try. Jerry Seinfeld has been asking that question since he was 20 years old and stepped on stage at a Catch a Rising Star on the Upper East Side of Manhattan on a Monday audition night in 1975. This book is essentially the complete files of his lifetime pursuit of material to support the thrilling but unforgiving art of stand-up comedy. In some ways, it is also an impressionistic autobiography told through jokes. From his first 6 minutes on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson to his 9-year detour in a well-known sitcom, from Pop-Tarts to monkey astronauts to cotton balls and baby alligators in bathtubs. If the answer to Is This Anything was yes, it is included in this comprehensive compilation of his comedy." So, you can see inside, it has scanned copies of all these handwritten notes, and apparently, because we watched a documentary about he would write a lot of his jokes on yellow legal pad paper and keep them. So my husband's been reading this at night, and so I'll be falling asleep and just hear my husband laughing because he's reading it. And I guess that's where my husband is, because he seems to have marked the page. I guess he doesn't have a bookmark, so I'm just gonna flip the pages. So I think I'm gonna have to read it when my husband's done reading it, because he keeps laughing about it, and I liked Jerry Seinfeld too. And then here's a picture of Jerry Seinfeld sitting on the street, and he's surrounded by yellow legal pad paper. So this is all his handwritten jokes. And I think the documentary might have also been called Is This Anything? But maybe not. Maybe I'll look it up and link it. But I think this was from the documentary I saw too, where they talk about his history of writing jokes. And because I remember seeing this scene in the video, the movie. I think it's on Netflix. Well, Netflix Canada. So I'm just going to read one of the jokes, and this one is from the 2000s, the double O's they say, and it's called Kids in Bed, and I think anyone who has children may relate to this. "My wife has been bringing our youngest one in the bed every night at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is another beautiful experience. It's like sleeping next to a laundry bag that has a live goat tied up inside. All night long, the goat is punching and kicking and trying to get out. He has somehow mounted himself onto a rotating display wheel that works its way around the bed, raising his body temperature to 189 degrees. How does that little body pump out all that heat? God, it's hot in here. And not only is it romantic to sleep with your wife like that, but you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go. So I think anyone who is a parent and has had a little kid come into bed with them can experience that and relate to that. And then I know if you're familiar with Jerry Seinfeld and how he delivers his jokes, like a lot of times you can just read it and just, when you're reading this, you can just hear him, how he would say it. So if you like Jerry Seinfeld and would like to enjoy reading his material, I really recommend that. Alright, so thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope you don't mind that I went more lo-fi today. I just thought I like lo-fi sometimes myself, and I was just wanting to film a video today using things that were on my dresser. If you like this kind of like random trigger videos, let me know. I do enjoy making them because I like trying to see how I can turn things into an ASMR trigger. And I couldn't film downstairs in the room I'm normally filming in with all my stuff because my husband is working from home just outside the bathroom, and he's in meetings a lot, so you'd hear him. But I didn't want to bring everything upstairs, so I figured I'd just do a lo-fi up here in my room. Plus my baby's napping down the hall, so this way I can hear if he wakes up. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this relaxing. If you made it to the end of the video, let me know by telling me what should I have you tell me. I know, if you've made it to the end of the video, just comment watermelon. Then I'll know. Watermelon. And I'll give you 10 points. I'm kidding, I don't have a point system. 10 fun points. So, thanks for watching everyone, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.